Okay, let's make our key, and you can follow along with me. Find the slope and y-intercept of each line whose graph is shown. Your slope is going to be your rise over your run. As I rise from integer coordinate to integer coordinate, rise 1, run. Notice I move backwards, so my slope here is -1. My y-intercept is going to be where it crosses the y-axis, over 0, down 3. Slope, remember you go from integer coordinate to integer coordinate. So none of these in between count, and you want to see how far you have to rise, 1, 2, for every run, 1, 2, 3. So a rise of 2 and a run of 3 gives you the slope or the rate of change of that line. Your y-intercept is always going to be an x value of 0, and how far up did you go? Y-intercept of 1. This is a HOI, a horizontal line, with a slope of 0, and a y-intercept, and a y in the equation. Your slope is equal to 0, and your y-intercept is over 0, down, looks like 1.5. Find the slope and the y-intercept, this time from an equation. Your slope is always going to be the coefficient to the x when it's in function form. An equation's in function form when y is solved for. Your slope is equal to 7, and your y-intercept is always going to be this constant here. Your y-intercept is going to be over 0, up 3. For this equation, we need to first solve for y. So I'm going to add 5x to each side. Y is equal to positive 5x minus 1. Here's my slope as 5, and my y-intercept is going to be over 0, down 1. I see just a y, which means that this equation is a HOI. It's a horizontal line with a slope of 0 and a y-intercept and just a y in the equation. For this one, I see my slope is my coefficient, -2. I don't see any constant, any y-intercept. So that means this equation goes through the origin. There's no y-intercept, so it's 0. My slope, my y-intercept. I need to solve for y, so I'll go ahead and subtract 4x from each side. -2y is equal to -4x minus 3. Divide by -2. Divide everything by -2. Y is equal to 2x plus 3 halves. -4 divided by -2 is +2. -3 divided by -2 is +3 halves. My slope is 2. My y-intercept is 3 halves. My y is already solved for. My slope is -3. My y-intercept is -4. Here we have our first vux. For a vertical line, my slope is undefined. And my y-intercept, there is none. When you think about the coordinate plane, anytime you have a vertical line, it is going to be parallel to the y-axis, therefore it never intersects it. My last one on this page, I'm going to solve for y. So I'm going to add x to each side. 4y is equal to x plus 3. Divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. Y is equal to 1/4 x. There's my slope. Plus 3/4. My y-intercept, 0, 3/4.